This is PenDust Radio. Short stories, riveting fiction, and wildly creative nonfiction. Definitely not the same old story.
Tell O'Toole at O'Flaherty's Dead is a magic realism story about a guy spending Christmas Eve alone at a pub and then walking home and having some really strange encounters over the course of his evening. And the story starts with the main character just sitting in an Irish pub having a drink, and he sees a cat sitting across from him in a bar. And it gets a lot stranger from there. So I got the inspiration for this story maybe 6 or 7 years ago when I started writing it, when the heat in the building wasn't working on a really cold, kind of early December night. And it had an open night available for writing, so I just went to a late night diner near where I lived, up on the north side of Chicago, and just started writing, seeing whatever idea came to me. And it started with that image of a cat at the bar, and then the story kind of grew from there. So I don't have any real personal connections to the story as far as I've never been superstitious, but at the same time, I'm someone who's always been really interested in different mythology and symbolism and things like that. And I'm a fiction writer, and so I wound up incorporating a lot of that into the story and putting that into the character's mind. That's not something that I personally believe in. So the mysterious tone that runs through the story probably comes from the way the piece developed while I was working on it. So as I realized it was going to become a magic realism story, I started to incorporate allusions to numerous other holiday magic realism tales. There's a lot of them either briefly mentioned or kind of alluded to or packed in there, and then really focusing on the one myth that becomes the central driving force of the whole story as it gradually unfolds. I am in fact a cat person and an animal person in general. So I don't have a cat at the moment, but that's really rare for me. So that when I was a year old, my parents got our first cat. We had him up until I was about to leave for college. And so I have a very long track record of working with cats and also always having cats like me. So I'm known as a cat whisperer among many of my friends, where cats who don't like most people will like me. So to me, part of the fun of fiction is writing characters who think about things in a different way and getting to get inside their heads and think about their motivations. And so being able to write a character who experiences this in a very specific way is part of the fun of figuring out the story and figuring out where it was going to go and kind of learning more about the character as you write the story. So the holiday season is something I really enjoy. And this year we haven't really been able to do very much just because of COVID-19 and being safe during the pandemic. But in a normal year, I like to do things like try to see a version of the Nutcracker live. I tend to go to a lot of concerts around this time of year, a lot of movies around this time of year, and really just kind of get out, go to zoo lights at the zoo. And a lot of those things, zoo lights we were still able to do this year, socially distanced, but most of the other things just haven't been an option this year. But it's going to be a thing to look forward to next year and the year after, and just making sure we can do everything to keep people safe.
PenDust Radio. Definitely not the same old story. Please visit us at pendustradio.com.